guys, hiya, and welcome to those who are watching this back, and hello to anyone that's going to join me now. So I'm going to get back to doing some of this today. We've been working on the Mythomorphia, and we've been doing the winged horses. If there's a little bit of noise, I can't help that, I'm afraid. I'm so sorry. I'm just going to get my chat up, and then I can speak to you. Hiya! How are you all today? So I thought I'd come to my table and try this out. Hi! Hiya! So we're going to be doing the background on this today. I'm okay. I'm feeling a little bit better, thank you. How are you all? Hi guys. Hi Shilling. So we're going to be painting today. I thought I'd do some paint. So we've got a mixing tray. We're going to see what we can get done in this time. As I said in the last one, we've got Prussian blue in the Americana paint. And I did bring some white in case I can do that. Yeah, I'm feeling a little bit better. I've just taken my painkillers, so I'm good for a bit. So I thought, because I haven't been able to do any of the clouds, I've just got my paintbrushes here. Because I haven't been able to do any of the clouds because of my back being how it's been this week, I will do some of those off screen. But what I am going to do today is do all the acrylic background, hopefully quickly dry it off, and then we can do like the glowing moon and the starry effect if I can find the toothbrush. I've got to find the toothbrush. Hiya! Yeah, you can get a Sammy Fix. I'm glad that you even want one. How are you all anyway? So yeah, we're going to do that today. We're going to give that a go. I am going to use just a little tip. You know you've got the flat-headed, let's turn this up so we've got it a bit brighter. So you know you've got the flathead straight edge paintbrushes. They are a lot easier to get into a straighter edge like this without going all over. But for small detailing and getting in smaller bits, I mean I've just got a bunch of them here. These big ones are going to be absolutely useless because we've got too much detail going on. So we can get in with a little brush like this one. So if I compare it to the one that I'm going to kind of use, we can use a couple. We can use this one and this one to get in small bits. So like you've got tiny little parts to get into. And we're going to try and do that as I'm not even going to say that I'm going to be neat, but we're going to try and do it as neat as possible. Hiya! Yeah, you have. I thought yesterday I'd just come on and do a face-to-face and have a little chat. I did delete that like I said I was going to, because that wasn't one to keep up. That was just there and now, have a little chat, see how everyone's doing. And it's a good way for me to get to know you guys as well, you know. I know a lot of you, but it's a good way for me to get to know you better. Tilly's in full voice today. So I'm just going to take you through what I do. I'm going to zoom you in. Yeah. So any tray, any paint tray, any mixing tray, we're going to do this side of this here. We're going to do this side first. And I'm going to use the Prussian blue Americana paint. Oh, I'm so sorry, Tess. I did say I was going to keep it up for a couple of hours and delete it. I'm so sorry, darling. Well, I hope you enjoyed what you did watch. Hiya. Oh, another UKer. Okay, so like with all your paints, give them a good shake. Oh, sorry, Sarah. It was an impromptu one. So I'm going to put quite a good, generous dollop down. Tilly. My God, she saves her voice for when I come on stream. And then just grab yourself any, I've kept a jar. This was a pasta jar. Just put your brushes in and get them all wet and nice and what you need them for. Get some paper towels in case you need them. And as I said, nice generous amounts. We're going to start off with this side. I'll take you through everything that I do. Yeah, I'm going to just do an acrylic paint background, Amberly, and then when it's dry, we can do this with pencil. We're going to put all the effects with pencil and just some white acrylic paint. And it's really going to stand out. We're going to make it stand out. So we want to get, hi Kate, hi Candice, hi Desiree. Hi Oh, you like listening to Tilly? I do like listening to her. I love her to pieces, but sometimes she just needs to keep it quiet. Okay, so we're going to make a start. So you want a good amount on your brush, as you can see. There's it covers the brush. And I think I'm going to start from the binding because it's a lot easier. With acrylic paint, if you do it straight, don't do it watery, you will cover the entire area. And then you can get right into the binding, which is really nice. If you flatten your book down, put a couple of sheets of paper or card behind. Hi, Elizabeth. And then you can, if you're going off the edge, you can go onto the paper, it's fine. So we're going to put straight acrylic background down today, and then we're going to try and do some colouring in that time as well. But there's no point doing any fancy fandangle because you're going to add it in with your pencil. Now it does get a little bit tricky when you get into the finer detailing, so that is always a bit trickier to do, but we're going to try. So this might be a little bit tedious, but it's also a way of showing you this is going to be a pencil piece, but it's also going to have the acrylic background. So we are using mixed media. I quite like doing that. I didn't want to do like a graduated background with pencil, and these paints are relatively cheap. So once you've got your lay down on your paper, you can start to add the thicker amount on and go into the finer detailing of your design. But you don't want to go over it, and if you do, you know, it's a bit tricky with the dark paint to get off. If it was white, we could wipe it off very quickly, but it's really hard when you got, you know, a dark blue or a black or something, because it really does take the design away. So you're going to get as close as possible to those parts, and then we can get the other paintbrush in, which is a finer one, and we can do that. I hope I've explained myself okay without babbling. And you want a straight edge, because the straight edge you can go along the line. If you've got the round brushes, they tend to be a bit scattered and they go into your design a lot more. So Andrew, apologies. So yeah, I'm gonna look at. Oh, I'm glad you did. That's okay. It doesn't matter how slow you are. I'm slow. I've been slow recently because I haven't been able to do much. So these little detailing parts is really quite hard, but it's a process, and you know it's part of it, isn't it? So I take you through everything what I do when I sort of talk you through how my mind works with it all. I'm going to come up. I sort of talk you through how my thought process is behind things, because I think it's a lot nicer to do that, because you get a little insight of, you know, alright, where my mind's going with colours, what I'm thinking. I just blurt out ideas as I go along. And don't forget, with acrylic paints, you know, they can be worked on top as well. So once they're down and they're dry, they're matte. I've got matte. Make sure you get a matte one and not a silk or anything, or a shiny one, because you can't put too much down on those. But if you've got a sorry, excuse my voice today. If you have a matte one, you can work with it. You can put pencil on top of it, you know, and it does look different wet to as it does when it dries. Oh, sorry guys, I'm really bad. Yes, it's Prussian blue, Elizabeth. It's the Americana, the Prussian blue there. Hi everyone. Oh, thank you, Susan. That means a lot. I just like to show you and talk you through what I do, and I've said it so many times, and I genuinely mean this. I don't class myself as great. I just class myself as someone that just likes to do it. And when people say that to me, I'm sort of still taken back that, you know, you learn stuff, and I'm like, oh. And when you take something away from the channel, it really makes it just makes me smile so much. Like, it is the biggest compliment in my eyes that you can pay me when you go away from the channel and you've picked something up from me, and I'm just like, I can't believe someone does. So it means an awful lot, so I genuinely thank you. Okay, so I'm just laying this down, guys. I'm going to do this one side and show you, like, sort of where I'm going with this. Now with this glow here, I'm going to reapply that. This is quite hard to get into the details, but I'm just showing you it's not impossible. It's not impossible. You can get into those little grooves. You need a flat brush. The flat brushes allow you to do that. And then when it's dry, it dries flat and it dries matte so that you can put the pencil on top. Am I making sense or am I blabbering on? Yeah, I'm responsible for the misfits. Hi Grace, I didn't see you. Hi Alicia. Hi Mona. It's a flat brush, Candice. It's a flat one. I'm sorry, I was explaining about brushes at the beginning. So I'll just quickly recap. With a flat brush, you can go round the line straight. And I use I don't know if you can see, I use the Graduate range in the Dana and Rowney. I absolutely love these. But then I also have a really good budget range, which is by Royal, I think it's Royal and Nan Nicole. And these are so cheap and so good to get in the small spaces. Shalene, you just make me happy. I absolutely adore you. If anyone takes anything away, you know, it makes me so happy. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the next colour-a-thon in August, which I am going to make a file for coming up very soon. I've just not been up to it this past week. And then everyone can start sticking their time slots down in advance, so that we can share that with viewers and channels know when is on at, you know, who is on at what time, etc. So I'm going to get on with that. See, these are the little bits, guys, that are really hard to get into, but we're going to do it. We're going to make it work. And then because it's a flat brush, it doesn't muck it up. It's amazing. So flat brushes, flat edges are fantastic for this kind of thing, especially in your Kerby books because there's a lot of detail. So you can really get in there with them. I need to just get a little bit on the edge. So yeah, I am going to make a nice file up and everyone can put in their time slots. You can take over an hour time slot, 2 hour time slot, however many you want. Just pop it in there and have a look. Okay, so as you can see, you can get right in there. And it will dry flat. It will dry flat and matte. I'm going to bring this over, guys. And where am I? Right, no, yeah, okay, we'll come over here. And yeah, I've got so much I've got to film and get on with, and I'm going to use this string to do the paint, and I'm going to use it to also, hopefully if I go and dry it off, I can do the moon with you guys, and we'll do the sky, we might as well. So you've got to hold it quite firm so that your paper doesn't move, and get in those little cracks and crevices and all the little areas that you need to get into, and use your flat brush. You're still on my flat brush at the moment, we don't need the other one as yet. So I've gone over that a little bit, but that's fine. It's so awkward getting in these little parts. So we are going to do it, we are. But we're going to get onto some pencil work once this is dry, and I will need the hairdryer to do that, so I will quickly go and dry it off with a hairdryer. Most of it will dry as I'm doing it anyway, you know, and as I said, with this, it does dry and then you can put pencil over the top, and they're really actually quite easy to do. You know, we don't need to do anything, we're just putting a lay down to start. You can start adding in your pencil shading when all this is dry. I'll look over to the chat in a second, guys. Okay. I think my partner, Andrew, is doing me a cup of tea. I could be wrong. No, he's not. Oh no, never mind. Okay, so it's quite tedious to get into everything, but it does work and you can do it. It just takes a bit of patience. I am on the... Yeah, they are. They're so much easier. What am I colouring? I'm colouring the Mythomorphia, Alicia. We're carrying on with that. We've been doing it on a couple of strings. So we're carrying on. I'm not as quick as Dee Dee with paints. So like here, you need to make sure, I come up, you need to make sure that your paper is really at the top, because I'm going to come up now into these parts. And you can take it off the paper. And you can really get in there, and it doesn't matter because you've got the paper behind. So you can be a bit messier here, which is great. And same with these little stars. So if you've got the patience to do the paints and the pencils, it really does pay off. You'll see the result after, but we've got to put it down first. I have to give credit to Dee Dee as well, because she was the one that introduced me to the paints in the books, the acrylic paints, because she's got no fear with them. She's been working with them for years, hasn't she? And yeah, I watch her and I'm just in awe of her stuff. So I'm like, do you know what? Let's do it. Let's do it. So I'm sorry about the absence. As you know, I've gone over that, but that's fine. I've been in a little bit of a pickle recently with pain. So thank you for your patience. Okay, so we're going to get right in there. You might need we might need to change over to that smaller brush in a moment. If you can hear that beeping. Andrew went to Guns N' Roses last night, the concert, at the festival, at Download Festival here. So just looking through all the pictures. Yeah. Yeah, you can do that. I mean, most people do. He did enjoy it, Candice. And what was I just reading? Oh, God. Yeah, Elizabeth. Most people do the backgrounds before. I do it the other way around. I just don't feel as inspired doing them first. That's just me, and everyone's different. My inspiration comes from the colours that I've laid down on the page already, and I can get very disheartened when I've messed the background up in the beginning and I really wanted to do that picture. So it is entirely up to you how you want to do this, but I personally just like to do my backgrounds after, because I cannot for the life of me. I'm going to move over to my little brush now. I can't for the life of me just do them first. I've tried, it just doesn't work for me. And as I said, everyone's different. Most people do the backgrounds first and I envy them. And I'm like, maybe I can do that on my next picture. No, it just doesn't work. Okay, so I'm getting into the smaller details with the smaller brush. You don't want too much water on it. So I'm just trying to get this going. You just, same principle, just flat colour. And I'm trying to get into those small little grooves. So there's quite a lot of detail in here. And, you know, sometimes if you put too much water on a brush, you might need to do 2 rounds of the acrylic paint, which 2 rounds of this might be a bit, you know, too much. So we're going to try and get it as thick as possible, and I'm trying to get it down. I'm sorry if this is taking too long. But I try to show you the process and what I'm doing things. And I have got videos coming up, guys. I just will get around to them one at a time. So it's just a matter of getting in there. And then the great thing about this is you can put pencil on top when it's dry. So you can really, you know, get in there with your pencils. So as you can see, it starts to like come together. There is quite a lot of detail in here. So I'm going to do the main part and we'll get into all the crevices after. Yeah, it is. It is a very, hi Louise, I didn't see you there. Hiya, hi Sky. So we're just doing acrylic paint background, Sky. And then we can add the pencil on. So we're going to go, can you see how small those are? I'm not going to get right into those yet because I need the smaller brush for that. So we're going to get up and into these parts first. And then I need my little brush for that. cover as much as we can with the bigger flat brush, and then we'll move over to the smaller brush to get into those small, you know, all around the wings. There's quite a lot of detail there, isn't there? So we're going to get right in there. And then I can show you one side of what it will look like and how we're going to do it. So thanks for joining me, everyone, on your Sunday. How's your Sundays going? I know it's quite early, it's 11 for you guys in the US, isn't it, for a lot of you. I know Tess is a few hours behind, I think, from most people. And I thank you for joining me. It is, what's the time? 4:45, 20 to 5? 20 to 5 here in the UK in the afternoon, not in the morning. So, I'm really crap with looking at my chat today. You sneaked in. Grace, you do make me laugh. Has anyone treated themselves to some new goodies this week, or waiting for something to come in? I'll tell you a little story while I'm sitting here, I can tell you. So anyway, I think most people, you know, foxes, urban foxes. So for about a month now, on Chip's last walk of the night, which is quite late because I'm a night owl, I take him, let him out, let him go and, you know, do his wheeze and stuff so I can get a lay in the morning. So we go out quite late. And for about a month now, we've been encountering these foxes on our walks. So most nights we're out, and you know, the foxes are like within, I'd say, 2 car distances away. And then they just watch. They watch him like a hawk. They're watching, they're watching, they're watching. But they're in good enough distance, they're not coming near us. And then within like 2 weeks ago, they're within about a car distance away, and I'm thinking, oh my god, they're getting a bit too close for comfort. Then 3 nights ago, I took Chip out at, it was 2 in the morning because I was up, and I thought, you know what, let me just go and let him down for a wee. We don't go far, we just go like around the court and just outside the court. So I took him out, and this fox came out of nowhere, and I mean nowhere. So this fox was at my feet, and he was just staring at Chip, and Chip's tiny. Anyone that knows Chip, Chip is tiny. So this fox is literally at my feet, and he's looking like he's just going to eat Chip. Like, I'm not exaggerating, he looked like he was just going to just pounce and eat him. So I was shaking because they're attacking people to get to dogs now, and I'm thinking, oh my god, what am I going to do? If he hurts Chip, I'm going to be devastated. Of course my protective mode would come in, and I would, I'd have to, I love animals, you know me, and I'd never want to hurt one, but if one tried to hurt Chip, then no, it's not happening. So I bought this brightest torch. I'm sorry if I'm blabbering, but I bought the brightest torch that Amazon could like sell, and it's an LED torch. And hi everyone coming in. And I've bought a water pistol, which I know is going to look so silly. I'm going to be armed with a water pistol and a torch going out on my walks at night. I need to get into the fine detail, guys, after. So I bought those 2, and they come tomorrow. And at night, I'm not going to go out as late as I usually do. I'm going to leave it a bit earlier than what I, like 2 or whatever. So I'll go out at like 12, and I will take this water pistol, legitimately will take this water pistol with me and this torch. And if any foxes come, because there's 3 of them, and they like follow us home, and I'm not having that. Like, if he got attacked, I'd be in pieces. So I've bought this water pistol, and I've bought this torch, and hopefully now that I have those, there will be a bit of a deterrent, because I'll shine the torch in their faces, and I will just spray them with water with this water pistol. It's one of those blasters, water blasters, it's a soaker, so they're quite strong. And I will do that. I've got no problem in doing that. So So I said to Andrew, I'm not chancing it. You know, these foxes are getting too close. Okay. So I'm getting my other brush again. I'm just going to dab off all the water. Hiya! So yeah, that was my little story to tell you, like what's been happening at night is scary. So I've got a water pistol coming and I'm going to be like, who goes out with like gun? It looks like, it's not, it looks like a water pistol. So I made sure that it didn't look like a gun. Yeah, so I'm going to be going out with that at night with this torch and a water pistol on a hunt for the foxes. No, I just want a peaceful walk. I don't want to be hunted down, you know. So yeah, that was what I wanted to tell you. It's like the only thing that I had to fill you in on. So I shall be fully armed with water and the brightest torch that I could possibly buy. So that Chip is going to be safe, and that's all that matters to me, is safety. Okay, so like getting in these little details, I have to do it with a little brush. That's what the little brushes are for. So if you can flip between the two, same on here, and then we're going to head over to the wings and show you all the wings. Yvonne, not really, no, it doesn't buckle. Hiya! So we're going to go into the fine. I might even need the smaller one. So I have got a fine detail in one. I'll show you. So I've got one like this, which is a really fine detail. I know. Corey, I genuinely will do it. So we're going to get into these little tiny crevices here. You know, I am not putting him in danger, and if a fox comes near him, they're going to get blasted with water. Simple as that. And when, of course, I was reading up on whether foxes, you know, do they attack people because they're getting too brave, I read the most horrific story, and that was it. I was like, no, I'm going to get a water blaster, they're going to get blasted. And I would never harm a fly, you know, so for me to do that, it's just out of character. Okay, so we're going to get right in there. It doesn't matter if it's going over the wings a little bit because we'll sort that out, so it's fine. And then we're going to, there is more to do on the background. Yeah, I'm not even chancing it, guys. It's not worth it to me. He's only little, he's tiny, you know. And I don't care if they're curious because they can attack. And no way, Jose, no way. There's a little bit to get into here, and it's not happening. He's not being put in danger. So yes, I shall be armed. Be like, what can I call myself? I need a name. I need to tag, like you know, the fox hunter, but it's not a hunter because I'm not hunting them. I'm just trying to deter them. So it's going to be like the fox blaster because they are not hurting him. Bless him, he's only tiny, guys. He's so small. So as you can see, it does cover like the entire area. Yeah, fox bandit. You know exactly. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. That's why my instincts of being mummy come in, because he, you know, he is my kid. He's my child. Okay, I'm going to come over to this little bit here, guys. And I need my other brush. So I don't know if, yeah, we'll get this done. You alright for me to do this? I don't want to bore you guys, like, you know, on the stream, because I can't speed it up. This is real time. So yeah, I want to go with what you want as well. And then while this is drying, do you want me to show you how I do metals? So I can do the bronze, the gold and the silvery. I could do that because I've been doing those recently and I've had quite a lot of requests on how I colour them, and I thought I can either do it on a stream or I can do it as a separate video. It's entirely up to you. Because I can mix my streams up, you know, they don't have to be just solid colouring. or solid, you know, on one picture. It's entirely up to you, but I don't want to, like, I want you to like, also, you know, have a say, so. Desiree, I need to colour a mermaid first, and then I can just do the demonstration with the water. Because I could do the demonstration with the water, but I've got no finished picture to do it on. All my mermaids are all done. Because if I do a Hannah Lynn picture in my spare time and leave the water, I can come on stream with that and just show you. It's entirely up to you. So I'm just going between my fine detailing ones, just to get in all those, and then yeah, we'll do that. It's just to show you what you can do as well with mixed media, you know, there's so many things you can do. Yeah, no, the water is really, really easy. It really is. Like I say that, you know, not I can do it, you can do it. It is so easy. It's an acrylic wash, white, and I use a bit of turquoise as well, and a little bit of, you know, Spectrum Noir pen when it's dry to glisten, and it's so easy to do and so effective, and anyone can do it, I guarantee you. And you'll be like, oh, is this what it was? And I'll be like, yep. That is all it was. And then you'll become an expert in acrylic washes. Okay, I'm just going to do these parts because, yeah, I don't want to leave them because they look a bit silly, me leaving them. Oh, okay, I'm just flitting between the two. I want to do this side, and then we can get in there, and it needs to dry. While this is drying on one side, I could show you, or I could continue, but you know, I don't want you to be bored, because this is something, if you go around, I'll show you one side then, and then you know, we could do one side. I don't want to like bore you to tears with this. So if I just zoom you out a minute, like you can see, it really starts to put a background on, and these will stand out. These will stand out. Nay, I'm just reading the chat for a second. Yeah, see, the curiosity shops are, I don't know, I just never, my mum's got them, and they've never kind of been my thing. I appreciate them for what they are, and you're welcome, Corey, for the enabling of that. I will gladly enable on that. There's a new one, guys, not that I'm enabling, but there's a new Misfits out. It came out the other night. I don't know if you wanted to go and check it out. So we need to go into places like, you want to make sure that your paintbrush is relatively dry. You don't want it like soaking. So as you can see, there's quite a lot of areas that will need paint, like into these areas and stuff. So I don't want to continue doing all of that. If it's, you know, you can see where the sky, and just go over that bit. You can see where there's clouds and where there's a bit of sky. So we can go into those if you like. Hiya. Yeah, it's coming tomorrow, the new Misfits. If anyone didn't know, there's a new one. Okay, so I might just do a little bit of this then. So it's still doing the same. We're still with the Prussian blue. Oh, a bit too much paint on there. This will probably be easier actually with the littler brush because I can't get into all the areas otherwise. Okay, so there's quite a lot here. So it's all this area here as well. And when it's dry, it's going to be fabulous because we can add all the effects, which I can't wait to do. So I'll only probably do one side of paint on here, and then you go away do the other side. And I know people don't like me doing that, but sorry, because I don't want to drag it out for you. So, you know, we can do some of the, we're going to do all the rest of the horses and the wings and stuff on stream. I'm not going to do that away. But I don't want to, you know, drag something out because it can become quite tedious to watch for you. It's quite therapeutic for me to do. So, yeah, you fill me in. Nothing's been happening my end. I've been stuck, so you can fill me in on your exciting events and what's going on in your lives. I'll pop over and read the chat in a second. So you want to get right in there. Apart from, we're going to get the fox, what we call fox bands here. I need an orange mask. Get an orange mask. That'd be a caped crusader at night. See you later, Robin. Hi, Ashley. Welcome back. Yeah, that's the thing, you know, these sort of things happen. You start one and then you want the rest. How does that happen? So who's coloured in the grey? Who? Right. Any pointers, any tips? I'm reaching out to you because I genuinely am rubbish with grayscale. So have you got any pointers or any tips on the best way to approach grayscale? And if you watch this back and you do grayscale, pop them in the comments, because I get scared by grayscale because I don't know how to approach it, and I end up making such, I give myself a hard time on how it's going to look because I'm used to doing the shading, and the shading's done for you. So it throws me off entirely on how to approach grayscale. And there are quite a few grayscale books, including the Linda Ravenscroft ones, which I adore and I've got them. And I am so scared to like touch them. I don't know what I'm going to be doing with them, you know, and I kind of don't know how to approach them. So if you've got any tips, let me know. Yeah, I'm terrible. Oh, that sounds like a great weekend. Hi, Christy. Yeah, I think quite a lot of us can relate to that. I've heard quite a few people say that they're intimidated by grayscale, and I'm the first one. If you've noticed, I never do grayscale because of it. And I like line art, that's just my taste. But there are so many grayscale books, and I was thinking about trying a Molly Harrison book, you know, because she's got so many, hasn't she? And they're beautiful. And I have the Linda Ravenscroft books. I have them. And if there's anyone who has got any pointers, tips, how you approach it, please let me know, because I'm asking because I genuinely would love to know. And I have got the Linda Ravenscroft. I look at them often. I had a look the other day, and I'm itching to do them, but I just don't know how to approach it. So I would love to know. Okay, so look, as you can see, it really does start to come together, doesn't it? I quite like the darker background, because this moon will really glow, because we're going to do a glow. We're going to make a splattered starry sky. These will twinkle, and then all this will stand out. It is going to be great. Yeah, I'm the same, Elizabeth. Yeah, I don't know what it is about it. I wish I knew. Okay, so I'm still going to continue, because I might as well do this one side, mightn't I? You know, my mum does them, and she doesn't have a problem with them. Me, I can't get to grips with, I need the smaller one, guys. I can't get to grips with having the shading done for me. And that sounds really, I give myself hard work, but I prefer that. So I'm going to the really small brush. I think it's the fact that the shading's all done for you, which is odd to say, but I love to shade and blend and do all the light and dark, and you know, all those fancy techniques that might daunt others. And I like that because I know where I'm going with it, and I find that it's really hard to sort of approach it. So we're just going to go down. There's still some more here. I think here. This is, you have to go in with a really small brush. If you sit back and look at where the clouds are, the other parts is where the blue would be. So there's little small parts here. So you're trying to work out which is background, which is like cloudy parts. I think there's some, we're going to bring our we're going to bring our paper here. Do I have Pitt pens, Grace, or somebody else? Because I didn't know if you were talking to me or. Right, what's the cloud? See, this bit's not, so I'm going to go in there. I'm going to use a mixture of my two brushes here. Right, so I'll use my little brush to get right in there. I'm just laying down the colour. Don't be afraid to use paints. I don't, Grace. I'm not really a pen person, as you probably can tell. I like a marker as a base in the Create Space books. But no, I love my pencils. I don't really do pens or felt tips, or I don't use gels. That's just me. You know, there's so many amazing things you can do with them. I've just not mastered the art of them yet. I've got a couple of Pitt pens, like, you know, the very fine ones, and that's for fine detailing, but I haven't actually got them to use. Tess, I had them once upon a time as well, and I sold them. And it's the only thing out of my art supplies that I sold because I just didn't get to grips with them. And I only used them once, and I thought, no, they're just not for me, you know, not everything is. And I like markers as bases, but the Pitt pens, I don't think they're for me. I have tried once. And they're just another thing, like, to add on to ever-growing list. And if you don't like them, you know, you're better off really, because you can use it towards other things. Silly. Okay, so look, we're getting into all those parts. I think on that side, have we got any other parts? We've got this bit here. And then here. Go very lightly with that. You've got to be quite nimble-handed with this part, haven't you? I'll zoom you in after and show you that it's got to dry. Okay, I think we've got a little bit there, haven't we? You've got the smallest, finest little detail. See, would you say that that part here is the sky, or is it the cloud? I can make it, you know, I'm going to make that cloud. It's just, I'm going to make it a cloud even if it's not. And then I'll look over at the chat. Hi, Francis. Thank you, lovely. And you, Kathy. Nice for you to join me. And then I think this bit, oh look, got paint. So lesson, don't put your arm in the paint. We're going to get in there. And then we're going to use pencils to smooth it off after, when it's all dry. And sorry for a second, I'm going to go quiet there because I'm just concentrating on this little last bit that I want to do on this side. And I could show you with half a page what I'm going to do, and then we do the other half. I want to at least do the moon. Okay, I think that's all those parts, isn't it? I'm just looking. There's a tiny little bit there. And I think the rest is going to be cloudy bits. Yeah, no, this little bit. See, it's good to always look back on what you've done, because there's parts you can miss. It's good to sort of just sit back and have a quick glance. Right, so I think that side is done with the acrylic. See, it's just that side now. I've got paint everywhere. Louise, it's the Americanas. I get them on Amazon, and this is the Prussian blue. And honestly, they're great. I mean, look at me. I'm gonna have to wash my hands. Oh, don't be afraid. Go for it. Just go for it. They're not gonna look. They're not gonna do. If you don't water them down, they're gonna be fine. This is not buckled at all. It's not buckled. What I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to let that dry for a second. I'm going to quickly give you a demonstration on metals, and we're going to come back and do this moon and the glow. So if you bear with me, I'm just going to wash my hands. I'm going to let that dry a little bit, and then we'll come back to it. Right, be right back. I'll be 2 seconds. Need a book with, just know what, I use this one because it's hot metal in it. Okay, so we're going to use, this is the Pop Manga book. I just took the cover off of it. Oh god. Right, 2 seconds, guys. Let me just sit myself down. Oh, right. So you probably saw floating around, I've done these metals. So I've done this dull, let me turn this down a little bit. Okay, I'll zoom you in. So I've done this like dull silver metal, and I've put some stickles on it. I don't know if you can, no you can't, not unless I shine a light on it. And then I've done this like copper here. It's like a coppery bronze. And I got some pointers originally from Helen Elliston, but I've added a couple of colours in myself, and I really like the result because she gives you some stable colours to work with, and then you can experiment yourself, which you know me, I generally do. His head, it has got like Spectrum Noir pen, but his head did not come out how I originally was going to plan to do it. So I just want to give you a quick demonstration on how you can do this one. It's like a dull, oh, thank you. But, you know, it's just, I want to give you a demonstration on this dull silver metal, a demonstration on how to, it won't take long, the coppery bronze, which is here, and then I've also got one for gold, which I've not done on this picture, because I didn't think it needed it. I wanted him in like copper, and I wanted him in silver, and then I wanted her just with her headdress as a silver. So I'm going to actually use this book. Yeah, I was thinking about that, Desiree. I'm going to use this one because it's got some metal in it, and we can use one of the pictures. So if I just flick through, I'll find the picture that I'm happy with demonstrating on. And then I just want to quickly show you. I'm not going to do the whole picture. This is just me picking out a segment for you to show you. See, this was done ages ago, and I wasn't entirely happy with that because I wasn't experienced then in anything. And I'm going to come back and revisit this one for a background. But I need to find some metal. Trying to see now. Right, I can use this girl, can't I? I've done her as well, which you've seen on the completed pages. Okay, so if I zoom you in, I can give you a quick demonstration on the colours that you're going to use. Oh, thanks, Christy. So if I grab those pencils, it's going to be a mixture between the Luminance and the Prismacolors. The silver is it's Prismas only, and then the copper is a mixture of Prismas and Luminance, and it's only one Luminance pencil. So if anyone wanted to grab one, you don't need the full set, you just need one. So I'm going to quickly demonstrate while my picture is drying. I want to demonstrate to you how to do that. It just kills but 2 birds with 1 stone for me. I've done it on a stream before, Candice, but I haven't got it done as a separate thing, but I have shown it. Okay, so make sure your pencils, as I always like to say, is nice and sharp. Just sharpen them all to a nice big point. You need a black as well, so Kathy, I don't personally. When I go away, I just take reading books. No, I love using my pastels, you know I do, but that's really easy to show you anyway. I've done it on the Momo Gal. Okay, so I'm going to now start off with, I'm just going to do the silver one to show you one. So I'm going to use this little segment here. I'm just reading for a second. Yes, pencils at a point, Grace. Hiya, Charlotte. Thank you so much. I'm just giving a quick demonstration on metals. So 3 different metals. So your first lay down colour will be in the Prismacolor Silver, which is PC949. And you want to sort of plan out where you want your lighter and your darker, like I always say. So your shadowed part and your lightest part. And for me, I think I'm going to go for the lightest part on this edge here. So from my inner section of the metal, I'm going to lay down with my silver Prismacolor, and as I get nearer to the edge here, I'm lessening my pressure of my pencil. So I always do that when I say lessen your pressure. It just means you're coming off, you're feathering it out. This is just your base coat, and it gives you an idea of where you want to go with your colour. So you're coming off as you get to the edge here. So you can start, once you've sort of planned that, you can lay down a little bit more of your silver. And it's not perfect, doesn't have to be perfect at this stage. You're going to use your other colours first before you tidy it all up. I'm sorry about Tilly, she's having a bit of a moment because she can't get to me. Okay. So as you can see, it's just a very light base coat. If I turn that down a little bit, it's a light base coat, and this is my lightest shade. I'm going to do the same with this. So my lightest part might be, because I've got a shadow from this here, it's not going to be there because that's going to shadow it. I think it will be in the inner because we've got a lot going on. So I'm going to make the inner part the lighter part on this one. Because you're looking at the objects on the page, so the objects on this page here would make that part darker. So you're still with your silver, and as you get to the edge, you lighten your pressure off. So you've got your base coat down. No, well, if you did, I'm sending the pencil, please, Grace. So I'm then going to grab this one. This is 70% Cool Grey, which is PC1065. And where I have laid that down, I'm going to go into those areas and I'm going to come out. And as I'm coming out, I'm really lessening that pressure. So you're coming into your inner corners first, and as you're coming out, it's barely touching the page. So you're going to do that over the entire area again. So you are, you're just literally just touching the paper at that part. And then you're coming off. So this is a good little thing as a filler, isn't it? Like, while something else that we're doing is drying, we can use that time to show a little demonstration, which is nice. Okay. And then the same with this part. So I'm going to do this part as my lightest. And here's going to be darker with a black after because you've got a shadow. And again, you're going to come over here and bring that to your edge here. Are you all okay? Tropical World, which one's that? Is that Amelie Moretta? Sky. I still need to do Sky's Ukulele Sunset at some point. I've just not been able to do anything. Okay. So as you can see, it's just starting to lay it down. Then I bring in the 70% Warm Grey in PC1056. Yeah, see, Sky, I just have never had a desire since beginning my colouring journey to pick up a Millie, and yet, you know, she was one of the ones that got me into it with Joanna Basford. It's strange, isn't it? Okay, so now with the 70% warm grey, this is really effective in the end. You're going quite heavy here with your pressure, but then you don't want it as far into your lighter part as your other colours. So you're only going to sort of the edges. Are you missing your Hannah Lynn's? I know they are. It's a good goal, Sky. I set myself that goal and it's just, I'm not even near it. How many colouring books have you got then? Is it a manageable amount, not like me and Grace? So, yeah, we're just, as you can see, I've not done it too far. I've still got the cool grey and the silver showing, so you don't want it too much. Here you can really press your pencil down because we've got an object. So if you haven't got that, you just do what you've just done there, you know. Yeah, you got your others coming, haven't you? Thanks, Kate. You've always got a couple that come in that wander in. Okay, so we're just coming in a little. You want that quite, you want it showing. It's coming, it's showing, isn't it? It's quite dark. Okay, and then before I put the black down, with your silver in PC 949, if you just blend out what you've just done to the edges, but you're not going right into the darkest parts, you're just coming sort of midway and outwards. So, am I explaining myself okay? Yeah, same here, Tess. But I'm not bothered anymore. I'm really not bothered about the amount. They're there for a purpose when I want them. Okay. And then with the black, it's gonna go only in to the very corners or the edges. You're not going far with this one. You just want to darken it up a bit, but you don't want to overload it. It is just there to darken up. And then same with this side. Just wanted to give you a little demo on what I did. And then we'll get over to the coppery bronze and then the gold. Okay, so here, because of a shadow casting, I am going quite heavy with my black, because you want that. So if I just right, and then I'm just going to get the 70% cool grey again, and I'm just going to, where I put the black, blend that out to about here. And back to silver one last time. Blend out silver into that cool grey. And that's all I did on the silver. It's quite a few layers, but it achieved the result. So you can add then your detail in the white. So that was all the silver was. It's like a dull silver. Then with a Posca, I have the 0.7mm one. Your detailing will go into your darker parts, wouldn't it? So that you can see it. So, you know, it just gives it a shine. And then you can add it on if you wanted to. It's entirely up to you. But that is just more or less the silver. Now we'll do the coppery bronze, and I think we're going to do it on her hair. Right, I need to get the colours now, guys. So if you bear with me, because I need to... The colours I did write down. So I've written it down here. You need bronze. This is in Prismas. So you're going to get bronze, a goldenrod, pumpkin orange, a chocolate black, and a Luminance in russet and buff titanium. So you've got quite a few colours going on. And I'm going to grab them now. I just got to find which pencil cases they're in. Tilly! Okay, so we've got bronze chocolate, we need goldenrod. Bronze goldenrod, pumpkin orange, we need a pumpkin orange. Can't find, oh there it is, I found it. Pumpkin orange and black. And then we need a Luminance in buff titanium and russet. Okay, so Tilly, stop screaming. So we need russet and a buff titanium. Okay, so we've got all the colours now, we can get on with it. So your initial lay down colour for the coppery bronze, we've got quite a few colours going on here. So the initial lay down one will be your bronze. So your bronze looks quite, I don't know, it's like a sort of dirty green to me, but it's not when it lays down. Tilly! My lord. Okay, so we've got bronze in PC 1028. And again, you're going to pick out, is that on screen okay? You're going to pick out where you would like your dark and light parts to go. And I'm going to use this part as my lightest to this side, just because. Then I'm going to get the goldenrod in PC 1034. I'm sorry about Tilly being so loud. And you want to lay that down sort of midway. You're going to stop at a halfway point. Sort of about there. Again, pumpkin orange, Andrew, can you get her off the blind? Pumpkin orange, PC 1032. You don't need on a huge amount because you're going to use your russet. So again, midway point. Then you are going to grab your russet, and the russet is the Luminance, and it's in 065. And this one you can be quite generous with the amount that you're laying down, because it's going to be quite orangey at this point. And that's okay, because you're going to use your chocolate in the Prisma to sort of, you know, drown that out a little bit. So you're bringing that sort of to about here. So it's becoming to, you know, look a bit like an orange metal. Then you grab your chocolate in PC 1082, and now you've got to be quite generous with the amount that you're laying down on the page. So don't be afraid to put some pressure down on this, because you want some sort of, you know, dark lay down of this. You don't want it to, you're not like scratching it into the page, but you're putting it quite dark on, so that it gives that sort of, it's giving it a darker appearance for now. Then I'm going to get back my goldenrod in PC 1034, and then we're going to, Tilly, we're going to go over to here only. So now you can start to tidy this up, because you've got your lay down now. So we're going to, you know, just not massively, just go over those areas. I'm just reading, guys. Savannah, they're worth it. I mean, if it's entirely up to you. It depends on, you know, I always say it's on what you like as well. And then I'm going to get, before I put the black and buff titanium, I'm going to grab my bronze back, and just over in this area here, it's quite a lot of colours that you're playing around with, but it achieves the result. So you're going to bring your bronze in. If you want to jot these colours down, then please do by all means. And you want to leave a little bit of a white area. Now I'm going to bring some black in PC935, and you don't want a heavy amount of this. This is a little bit lighter than your usual pressure that you've done on the silver, but you're putting enough down to be able to see it. You're not doing a huge amount. So you're bringing that in, and you've got a stopping point. So are you liking the results so far? Is it looking okay? Oh, yeah. It's like a coppery, I'll get my words out, a coppery kind of like bronzy. And then just into, with your buff titanium, into the light area only, it just dulls that out, but keeps it bright. And you're just putting that on the edge. You don't want a huge amount of that. Now, this is optional. You can grab back the russet in the Luminance in 065, and you can make it a bit more orangey depending on your taste. You can have it as an orange gold, you can have it as an orange copper, entirely up to you. Hiya! So that is more or less all I do for the coppery colour. So then we'll move on to gold. So we're going to just, this is a little bit more black because I just fancy it a little bit darker. So I'll recap on the colours that you can achieve this. And of course, you can add your little bit of shine. It's entirely up to you. Okay, so that is 2 colours so far. So we've got a silver, a dulled metalled silver, and this coppery bronzy colour. Now I'll do a quick demonstration on how I do a darker gold, and then we've done that and we can quickly go back and do some of the moon on the Mythomorphia page because it's nearly dry, I think. So I think I'm going to do that up here. Okay, now we need, can't remember what I used now, why have I gone blank? I'm glad you enjoy them. If you want, do you want me to recap on the colours for that? So for the bronze here, it's quite a lot of colours, but it achieves the results. So we've got black in a Prisma in PC935. We've got russet in a Luminance in 065, and a buff titanium in a Luminance in 801. Then we've got Prismacolor pumpkin orange at PC1032. We've then got goldenrod in PC1034. Prismacolor in bronze in PC1028, and then a Prismacolor in chocolate in PC1082. It's quite a mouthful. Okay, so now we get onto the golds. Let me get my Prismas. And this is for an antique-y looking gold, so it's quite a dark gold. I need to find the pencils and then we'll be off onto a winning start, because at the minute I've got no pencils in front of me. Okay, so you will need, if I can find them, you will need a gold in a Prismacolor in PC950, so the metallic gold. You will need a yellow ochre, if I can find that. Well, you need goldenrod as well, but like a yellow ochre. I'm trying to find it. Do you know what, guys? You can also use sand. I'm going to use sand in PC940. You need goldenrod in PC1034 and a black. So now it's the gold. And you sharp pencil. I'm going to just do this small section here to show you. So now we're going to use sand, PC940, and you're going to cover with the base coat this area to about here. So we're leaving a little bit, and the same I'm going to do just this top part for you just to demonstrate, and then up to about there. So you can sort of darken that up a bit with your pressure there, just into the areas that you want the darkest. I need a drink. Then I'm going to get my Prismacolor in Goldenrod in PC 1034, and I'm going to go over that, but not hard, just light. And then the same here. Honey, are you all okay with me still? Or I don't want to drag it out if you guys have got things to do. Okay. Then I'm going to pick up the metallic gold in PC 950. And then you got to go a little bit heavy with this because you are using your metallic pencils in these. That's what they're there for. And then again into this section. Now you can sort of lay it down a bit heavier. There's quite a few pictures that have got metal in, and these are like good, for me, I think they're good sort of combinations to put down on your metals. Mythomorphia's got some. So you're using it as a bit darker. Then I'm going to grab back my Goldenrod PC 1034 and just on the edges, I don't want a lot, just to blend out the edges a little. Then before I put any more gold down, I want to get my black in PC 935 and I just want to darken up some, just on the edges. And then same on top here. Just a little bit. Then get back to your gold, just bring your gold back in and press a bit firm over those areas and blend that black in a bit. And out again at the edges. So you're going quite firm with your pressure on your gold and just blending it all in. And then with your sand in PC 940, you just want to bring some light back into the edges there. And with the black again, you just go to your edge there. You can introduce some back in a little bit, just darkens it up for you. And then with the edge on this part, I'm not even going to bother with a goldenrod. I'm going to bring the gold straight in, and the same with here. And just to the middle, I'll show you why. Because it's just a part, you know, it's not a huge area. You don't need to do all of those colours on this bit. And just into the middle, your goldenrod, just with a line of it, just bring it in. And leave a little bit in the middle. With your black, quite heavy. And then the same. And then I'm not entirely happy with that, so I'm just going to bring some goldenrod in. Just till I'm happy. Let's just playing around with it until you're happy with the result. And then, again, with your Posca or your gel pen. You just do a thin line, and then that is all I do on the metals. Oh, why can't I zoom out? So you've got like a dark gold, like an antique gold. That's not a light gold. I've got a light gold combination video up. I want like a dark gold, I want a dark coppery bronze, and I want a dark dull silver metal. So they kind of, let me just show you, because there might be a bit of a glare. There is a bit of a glare. So if I bring that up, you'll see it's got 3 different metals, and they're like dark, dull sort of metals that I really like. I like the result of them. So I hope you like those. Yeah, it gives something different. So you can mix your metals about, and when they're all done, Tilly, they kind of come out like that, you know? You can darken them up, you play around with them, but they're your colours, and you can adapt them to however you want to do them, and you can add shiny onto them. I've added it onto the silver, just a bit of shine, just to make it a little bit shinier. You can kind of do what you want, but you've got your colours then, and they're the colours that you need just to play around with. You're welcome. I hope you like it. So yeah, there's just a little demonstration on how I do the metals. The dull metal, I don't want them shiny. I quite like the dull look. You know, you've got, you know, it just, to me, it just is it's effective. You know, you've got so much fun, and if you did all that in gold, you did all her head stuff in the copper, you could mix your metals about, couldn't you? And I think they look really effective on a page. So yeah, that was the little demonstration on how I do the metals. So there's 3 of them for you, which I hope will, you know, come in useful to someone. So let me just move all my pencils out of the way. Let's see if that's dry, guys, because we're only going to do half of this background today because time, and yeah, time's fishing, and I'm getting a bit uncomfortable sitting here now. Okay, so I think that's dry enough. Right, with the buff titanium, I think that's dry enough. So I'm going to put a bit of paper. Hold on, I'll put a bit of paper there just for my hand to rest on. So with the moon, I'm only going to do half today. You can bring out a glow. Now I've got a buff titanium, you can use a white, and you can smudge this out after with a blending stump. But you want to kind of just bring out where you want to bring a glow around the moon. Now I just do this with a buff titanium, and you're only pressing lightly on the pencil, because I'll do half of this moon now. And you could do, you know, the other half if you want away from the camera. It's entirely up to you, but it's dry enough for me to do this now. So I'm bringing out this glow, and at first it's going to look all streaky and pencily because we haven't blended it out. But you want to sort of bring the glow out and around. So this is buff titanium luminance. You can use a white, you can use a cream, Prismacolor. I use cream as well. I'll bring the cream in a minute. But you just sort of play around with where you want this glow to come out, because you're going to make it glow. That's okay. I'm gonna do this part, and then that's, you know, I want to do this part anyway. You know, when it's sitting there and it's bugging you, you really want to do it. So I'll do what I can, and then yeah. So thank you. I know you all understand. It just gets really uncomfortable up at this chair. So we're gonna just bring this out a little bit, and then we'll blend it out with a stump. Has anyone got blending stumps? Or they're really inexpensive. Just gonna bring that out as far as we can go. So it will show you what it will look like, and I'll do half the moon with you to show you, because we're gonna add in our greys. And okay, so we'll leave that for now. We haven't blended it out yet. I just want to bring it out. I think we might do a bit further. Yeah, that's all you need. Just a little just a little blending stump of any size, to be honest, Tess. It doesn't matter the size, you can use any, but I just want to bring this out to know where I'm going to go with it. We'll start adding in our colours after. I think it looks really effective when it's done. I love doing a moon. I usually put them in my Misfits pictures. Okay, so we kind of got where we want to go with that. I'm not blended it out yet. You need some greys, so I'm going to bring in I'm going to bring in 20% cool grey, and I'm going to bring in the 70% cool grey, and I need to get cream. Hi, Katie. You also need, we'll get a cream in the Prism colour, and we need another grey, but I want a mid grey. I think I'm going to bring that one in, guys. So I'm going to get the 50% French grey. And now we're going to just do half of this. So if I block out for a minute, if I block out that, so it gives you a little bit more to work, you know, it's like visual, isn't it then? So with the French grey, the 50% French grey, which is in PC1072, I'm going to start laying down where I would like my moon colours to be. So I flip between a few greys for this, and on the outer part coming in, I want that part a little bit dark there. Same with the underneath, so we're going to stick with this. You have to get right in there, so you need a bit of a sharp pencil. No blunt pencils. So we're going to blend all this out after. We're just laying down where we want our colours to go. So do you want me to zoom you in a bit more? So we're just laying it down to initially start with and how our moon's going to look. I'm just going to do the one side for today and get as much done as we can. Hiya. How are you, KP? Then I'm going to grab the 20% cool grey, and I'm going to come into that part and bring that around. And we're going to blend this all out after. But we want to just see where we're going. Now, into this part. I'm going heavy here, heavy with the pressure. And the same into these parts here. Don't be afraid to play around with some colours on your moon. Just, they go greys and creams and whites, and yeah, they look really good when they're done. They're effective. So you're going to bring that in because we want to use the darker grey to go in these crevices. So we're going over all of the area, and I'll show you what we can do in a minute. This is how I do my moons. Make sure you haven't got a line like I have, because I've got like a line going down it. Alright, then with your darkest grey, which is the 70% cool grey, you know these little crevices here? We're just going on the edges of them. So we're going to use the cream as well. So just with these crevices, I'm just going to use this just to go on some of it. Not all of it, just some. And then I'll blend all that out and colour it properly. I mostly lay colours down to start just to know where I'm going with things, and then we can tidy it up. Okay, so we're just doing it a little bit. So same on this part. And here. Sorry guys. Oh, thanks Shalene. Cafe. Yeah, you got to sort that out. I've got something really bad about blunt tips. I don't know why. I see a blunt tip and I'm like, no, it's got to be sharpened. Okay, so we're going to go round. And then I'm going to bring back in before I start laying, like blending it all out. I'm going to get the 50% cool grey again. And just into those where I've laid that down, I want to blend that out really well. So we're going to come round and blend into that cool, you know, the grey that we put down. What one did we put down? We put down the 20% cool grey, so I want to blend into that. And then we can get a blending stump in a minute and blend out that glow. So, yeah. Sorry for a second if I'm quiet, I'm just concentrating. So you can really play around with your greys on a moon, because if you look at a moon, it's like got grey crevices, it's got dips, it's got creams, it's got white, it's got like that buff titanium look, hasn't it? Which is what we're going to use, you know me, in the buff titanium. So now I'm just going to get, I'm just reading, now I'm going to get the cream, and just on the outer part here, I'm just going to go around with the cream, and I'm going to add some of that into that buff titanium. So not on all of it, just on some. I'm just going to add some cream, and same up here as well. I'm going to add a little bit of cream in there. Just in parts, not in all. And you're quite firm, you know, you're quite firm. I'm going to bring that away so you can see. Is that showing up okay? I'm just showing you what you can do, and then we'll add a bit of black and we'll blend out the glow, because we're just laying down where we want the glow. You know, don't forget, this isn't perfect to start with, it's got to be blended out. We get a blending stump for that, and you can use blending solution if you've got that. I personally don't use that, I just use a stump. And then we need some black, just on some of it. You don't need a lot. We're just going to go a little bit with the black because, yeah, we don't need a massive amount. Then we're going to get buff titanium and blending stump. So you just use your crevices, and then just into your moon. Tilly's gone quiet now. Peace. Peace and quiet. And then just into this little one here until she starts again. Okay. Then get your buff titanium. Thank you, Francis. And then just with your buff titanium, just blend into the middle of that. Just gives it a bit of colour, and it blends out. Just be careful with your black, because you can, look, you can just mix that all in. It's nice to be able to do something like that. It gives it just, to me, looks like a moon. And then you can, with circular motions, blend in all of that grey and really just play around with what you've just put down. And then this is your buff titanium. If I zoom you out, look, it's got that effect, you see? And I'm going to get the blending stump. Just going to put a little bit of black on that. So can you see the difference with all the greys and the differences and a bit of the cream? I just think it looks like a moon. I'm just going to get the blending stump, guys. And I think that comes to life. That's okay. You're welcome, Christy. It's my pleasure. I don't know, Jim. Just grab them. Ugh. Okay. Last thing for today. Just because I really wanted to get some of this done to show you, and then we can add. I mean, I could do the paint onto the top of it and smooth it out, but we'll do that next time. It's a bit too much. Yeah, so I've just got a pack of the Spectrum Noir blending stumps. And to be honest, you only need a small one because some of them are really thick. Look. You don't need the thick, you can use any, but honestly this one is absolutely fine. And you just want to blend out that. You have to press quite firm, and it takes a bit of like manoeuvring, to be honest. But it does work, of course. It does work. You just got to blend it out. It gives it a glow. You don't really need the solutions or anything. I mean, people like to use them. I personally don't think you need them. These are absolutely fine as they are. It just gives it the glow, and then when we put the stars and stuff on there with the paint, it really comes to life. So you can blend that right out. It really like shines. So we just go around the entire area. If you suffer with any arthritis in your hands, this might be a bit too harsh on your hands. So just take your time with it. You're really just bringing it out. See, and it just brings like all those pencil lines go. And then you could, if you wanted to, add a bit more cream just around the edging, just around the edge there. Same at the top, just bring some cream in. You can just play around until you're happy. You can bring some cream up into it. And sorry guys, I'm not reading. I'm glad you like it. It just gives you an idea as well, doesn't it? So as you can see before, you know, it does. I'm going to do some of the clouds away from the thing so we can get on with it, because we don't, you know, I've missed a little bit of acrylic paint there, guys. You know, it just gives it a nice glow. Ah, I'm glad. So I just missed, look, that's me. See, it's a good job to look, isn't it? Now I missed a tiny little bit of paint on his, here, in the paw. Good job I didn't put all the other stuff, all the other paint on, but it doesn't matter. Because we can, when I've done the rest of the sky, we can add in all the starry effect and finish all that off. And there's another bit there. So I hope you like that moon, I hope you like the metals, and I hope you like where we're going with it. We will tie, the thing is, when you first put paint down, it can be a bit messy, but it's just a matter of tidying it up. I will do the rest of the clouds, and then we can come back. And then when we come back, we can do the wings, the tails, add in the sky effect, and then they're done. You know, it won't actually take too long from now. But if you are doing this with me, whoever watches this back or is doing it with me who's here, you do the same principle on the other side of the moon. So thank you for joining me today. I think that's all I'm going to do for today, because I've done quite a bit. I've done one side. I might sit and do the other side later. And don't forget about the metals that we demonstrated, for those who wanted to. We demonstrated those metals. So it was the silver, the gold and the copper. So we've done all of that today. I hope you had a nice afternoon with me. You're streaming at 6 p.m, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 11 o'clock for us. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thanks for joining me. So I hope you enjoyed it. No, it's alright at the moment. Thank you. So take care, guys, and I'll see you on Tuesday. Yes, we will do it. So take care. See you all.